Don't. Obviously, we got the word before the game about McDaniel. Do you think she'll be back next game?
Doubt it. That's on her. It's on her. So we'll evaluate it every day.
Guys, I'm really enjoying this new sweater I got yesterday from TJ Maxx. I just love it. It's just like the material of it. It's just so chic. It was only $25 too. But guys, after last night's game that I reported on, okay, we as South Carolina Gamecocks fans, if you are a fan, a lot of the fans are becoming concerned, okay? We are losing hope and faith in South Carolina as a team as a whole, okay? And of course, we're only on week 2 of women's collegiate level basketball this current season. But the fact that, again, of course, South Carolina Gamecocks is a Division I school. Clemson, okay, the Tigers, that's a Division I school. But they're not even ranked in the top 25. And we saw the Gamecocks last night. I talked about it when I called the game last night. Ultimately, even though they did win, they got the dub. Okay, the game concluded with them having 65 points. To the Clemson Tigers, 37 points or something like that? The fact is, when I had looked up and then saw that we were in the fourth and final quarter, there was just 45 points on the scoreboard for the South Carolina Gamecocks. They had a terrible shooting night. Okay, it is what it is. It was terrible. Offense was stagnant. In the second quarter, they only put up 15 points. In the third quarter, they only put up 10 points. With the likes of Tania Latson, Tessa Johnson, Raven Johnson, who played for 30 minutes last night and only put up 2 points against the Clemson Tigers, again, who are a Division I basketball team, but they're not ranked high. South Carolina Gamecocks, you are ranked high. You're not the one, you're literally the 2. Number 1 being UConn Huskies, and of course number 2 in the power rankings of women's collegiate level basketball being the South Carolina Gamecocks. And offensively, we look stagnant. And then to add the insult to the injury, people are like, well, where's Maddy McDaniel? Perhaps she could, make a change. Make them improve, okay, efficiently when it comes to scoring. Because again, last night, offensively, specifically, without Joyce Edwards, we probably would have got crushed. Would we not have? Even though, again, we did win the game by 20-something, 30-something plus points. It was a blowout, okay? The fact that we were not being able to shoot on anything. We were not making no shots, for real. I looked up, it's the fourth quarter, all we got is 45 points. And then the game concluded with them having just 65 points. What's 65 divided by 4 quarters? What is that, 16.25 points per quarter? Is this who we are? So, of course, prior to that game, during that game, it was the third quarter, I saw the ESPN notification that hit my phone. It had read that, Don Staley was talking about how Maddy McDaniel is suspended in last night's game, and that she would talk more about the situation after the game. So she just did an interview, and she spoke about it, and it looks like, it's rumors already swirling about, okay? They saying that it could be a locker room issue. Again, this is all alleged. People are saying that, on Twitter, I was doing some deep diving. They saying Maddy McDaniel perhaps could have gotten to it with Tessa Johnson. They had gotten to a little bit of a tussle, okay, between Maddy McDaniel and Tessa Johnson. And others are saying, it's just her grades. Her grades are bad, while other people are saying that, she actually has been caught skipping school. She was skipping classes. Don Staley ain't going for none of that. Okay, it reminds me of last season, Chloe Kitts, okay, shout out to her, who was out due to ACL tear. Chloe Kitts was suspended for 1 game because, she had a poor grade in a certain subject. Okay, I even made a little joke on Twitter. I was like, you know what, Chloe, I had at her, I'm like, girl, you ain't the only one who struggles or who have struggled with geometry, I understand. Guys, please allow me to read to you a little article by Sports Illustrated titled, Dawn Staley sends a blunt message about Maddy McDaniel's South Carolina suspension. While there is always a lot of excitement around the start of each 2025 through 2026 NCAA women's basketball season, many of the country's top teams start their schedules with relatively easy slates. This often means that games in the early portion of the year are very lopsided. Yes, they are. It's annoying. While this isn't necessarily a bad thing, given that it gives freshmen and transfers a chance to acclimate to the action and get used to performing for their new team, allows fans to see how their squad will shake out, and gives coaches a means of figuring out what their rotations will be and who deserves playing time, the bottom line is that fans can usually expect a lot of blowouts in November. There's no doubt this is true for the number 2 ranked South Carolina Gamecocks. Dawn Staley's squad just completed a 65-37 win over Clemson on November 11th, which was yesterday. Happy Veterans Day again, to improve the club's record to 3-0. This means that the Gamecocks have won these 3 games by a total of 135 points, and their 28-point victory against Clemson was the worst margin of victory they've had to this point. But the biggest story from this team on Tuesday isn't about what happened on the court. Rather, it's about sophomore guard Maddy McDaniel not being on the court, as the team announced on Tuesday afternoon that she had been suspended. McDaniel hasn't seen much playing time yet this season, only tallying 7 minutes during the team's November 3rd win against Grand Canyon, still given how Staley's squad is already shorthanded because of season-ending injuries to Ashlyn Watkins and Chloe Kitts, can ill afford another player missing time, especially if it's due to something potentially controllable. It says Dawn Staley spoke with the media after her team's win over Clemson. She was asked about McDaniel's suspension at one point and remained very blunt. And she quotes saying, "I doubt it," Staley said when asked whether McDaniel would be back for the team's next game per a Twitter post from Lulu Kesson of the Greenville News. Staley was then asked whether McDaniel would be back this season and said, "That's on her. Evaluate it every day." Then Staley was asked if she'd like to share details on why McDaniel was suspended. "No," she said, and left it at that. It sounds like Gamecocks fans must continue to monitor the story to get more information about McDaniel's suspension and whether they can expect to see her back this year. Again, everybody knows, or you should know, that Dawn Staley has a reputation of protecting her players, okay? Specifically when it comes to suspensions. And somebody was like, okay, maybe she got hurt. Maybe it's just due to an injury. Like, I've never heard of a player getting suspended due to an injury. It's just that you're out. You're on, concussion protocol. You're on the injury report list, et cetera, et cetera. People don't usually use the word suspended when a player is hurt, injured, or ill. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that when they said, they asked her in that follow-up question, well, Dawn Staley, when will she return to the game after the suspension? When will the suspension be lifted? And she just said, "That's on her. We will evaluate her every day." Yeah, it appears again, just by her tone, the look on her face, it appears as though Maddy McDaniel may have messed up. Okay, they want her to get her act together. Again, I'm just speculating. We can only speculate from the outside looking in. But the fact that she was like, "That's on her," it's up to Maddy McDaniel to decide when she gonna stop acting a fool. Whether or not she's going to get some playing time, whether or not she's going to get this suspension lifted. Okay, until then, it's on her. Maybe if she matures, perhaps allegedly she stopped getting into fights with Tessa Johnson, stop acting a fool in the locker room, stop skipping class, again, these are all allegations, get her grades up, then perhaps, yes, then her suspension will be lifted. This is all unfortunate because, again, guys, this Saturday, we see the USC Trojans, this Saturday, November 15th. That's my very first day of being a veteran. I'll be out of the military come this Friday, November 14th. That's my DOS, my date of separation. I'm going to keep saying it. The very next day in LA, Los Angeles, California, we will see the South Carolina Gamecocks go to LA and try to beat and defeat the USC Trojans. I ain't gonna lie, I'm telling you right now, I'm rooting for the Trojans. I'm rooting for the Trojans to beat South Carolina Gamecocks. And I believe that they will be able to do it, okay? With or without Maddy McDaniel. But again, that'll be another discussion, another video, of course, coming this Saturday for you guys. But again, guys, please comment down below your thoughts on Maddy McDaniel getting suspended, on whether or not, the South Carolina Gamecocks, in my opinion, the way they played yesterday, yeah, UConn Huskies, they better be glad. They better be fortunate and grateful that they don't have to see them in this current regular season, okay, for this upcoming season, this current season of women's collegiate level basketball, because they were just so stagnant offensively. The UConn Huskies would have did them like some dishes. But again, I'm just so excited for this Saturday, guys. I'll be officially a veteran. I'll be out of the military. And I'm very much excited to see who going to take home the dub. Will it be the USC Trojans or the South Carolina Gamecocks? And I will be rooting for the USC Trojans.